Thank you for Patreon now for donating to the Patreon.
Hey guys, it's Vanity Ezel back again for another Card Fight Vanguard Ezel and Vanity weekly reviews. If you guys enjoyed them, like, subscribe, let's 1-star, shall we? This time we are covering what I'm assuming based off of what we have currently will either be the last reveal set selection. Actually, no, it won't. It will be the second to last reveal set of the clan selection stuff because we're almost done with the clan selection stuff. And my hope is at the start of this video, because it's Monday at like 9:39 in the morning, I'm hoping that today we get Gladioul, and then tomorrow, I don't remember what we're getting tomorrow, but like really hoping today we get Gladioul, but something tells me we're getting Aquaforce. So let's go ahead and get this started, and we'll see where our reveals fall. God, please give us Gladioul or Bushy. So first up, we have our first grade 3, and it's the last card for Dragon Empire. I think Bushy was trying to just wrap up like the rest of the reveals that they only had one thing of, which is why I did all my deck profiles, because I knew Bushy wasn't going to give us like support, because normally whenever they give us a card, they had to give support with it. So I knew they were only going to give singular grade 3s here. First up, we have Dragon Goku, grade 3, 200 drive with Force Gift, 13k base. Active Vanguard, once per turn, counterblast 1, discard a grade 3 till end of turn, it gets a drive. That is somehow the worst triple drive skill I have ever read. And that is saying something. Like, I feel like there are other skills to get triple drive. Counterblast 1, drop a grade 3. It's simple, don't get me wrong, it's simple. It requires like the least amount of effort to get. Except you have to waste a counterblast to do so in Kagura, which in my opinion is a very counterblast heavy deck. And, well, maybe not, but at least when I was playing it, when I was doing, you know, my whole locked into counterblast, because me and my friend would only play on CFA and I couldn't use my soul. So, yeah, counterblast was definitely annoying. And then discarding a grade 3... Okay, make this a Narukami unit, make it something to do with Vanquisher, and then I'm already good, because Vanquisher flocks my hand with grade 3s against my will, so triple drive's nice, I guess. And then auto Van, at the end of the battle attack, counterblast 1, activate the following effects based on the number of based on the grades of the normal units revealed for the drive check. So if you got a grade 3, kill 2 of your opponent's rear guards. You got a 2, stand 1 of your rear guards. If you got a 1, 1 of your rear guards is a plus 10 for the turn. So really nice. My thing is, I don't know if it stacks or not. Like, if you see 2 grade 3s, do you murder 4 rear guards? If you see 2 grade 2s, do you stand 2 rear guards? I don't know. Frankly, to be fair with you, I really don't care. Because, like, he's not super weak, but he's not super strong either. He's just painfully average. Like, the triple drive is fine. The second ability... There's not enough cards we have right now, in my opinion, to take full advantage of it. Because, in my opinion, Kagura is not the deck that gets benefits from your rear guards restanding. Unless you are playing Vision Token Blade Master. Then you want rear guards to restand. But the only way you're going to get that Vision Token is if you're on a Blade Master. So, the fact that he's a Vanguard restricted makes him kind of bad, because the only deck he would be good in is Blade Master or Vision Token, and the second this thing gets on ban, unless you manage a way to disappear right during the battle phase, the Vision Token's dying long before this thing can restand it. But in Kagura specifically, there's not that many decks, in my opinion, that can benefit from standing rear guards, and obviously killing 2 rear guards. At that point, just play Blade Master, and then the get plus 10, okay, that's just Dauntless. Like, Goku tried to take everyone's thing and shove them onto his own, and it kind of worked and it kind of didn't. Like, he works as a main grade 3, he's just not amazing, so take that as you will. And then we have Eradicator, Vowing, Saber, Dragon Reverse. I think when I barely agree with the mass general public, but I think we can all agree, like even me, that when we all first saw this, the first comment I saw on it was, yeah, Ethics was a disappointment, and this is somehow better than Ethics. So grade 3 Twin Jeff Excel gift, 12k base, active Vanguard, once per turn, counterblast 1, lock 1 of your rear guards. Your opponent chooses a card from their hand, rear, and drop, and binds it. So I really like how that basically has the what's it called? The Amon effect, where it hits 3 different zones at once. I don't know why I've started loving all those effects. Granted, it's a counterblast 1 and lock a card, but that's so fucking good. Like, they lose a hand card, they lose a drop zone card, they lose a rear guard. So what if it's 3 cards? Here's a second ability. It's the same exact ability as the original Vowing Sword. So when your opponent's normally is bound from other than from their deck, they search the deck for up to 1 card with the same name as it, bind it, and shuffle the deck, and if they do, you choose one of your units, you get plus 5. If no cards are bound, you get plus 10 to one of your units. So it's literally the same exact skill. So basically, if 3 cards get bound and all of them are not triggers, they either bind 3 from deck and 3 of your units get plus 5, or 1 of your units gets plus 15, or some combination of the things, or your opponent binds none of them and 3 units get plus 10, or 1 unit gets plus 30, or like I said before, combination of the 3. So all around reverse is just good with just those 2 skills alone. If they stopped there, this thing would be good. Probably not one of the better reverses, but still be good. But no, they were like, what's the one thing Narukami has that that every other Excel deck can do? Doesn't have that every other Excel deck can do. Multi-attack. And what I mean by that is, if you don't know, Narukami at most, counting sweep command, at max could probably hit 5 to Well, no, they didn't have any way of restanding, basically, except the Vanguard. Well, guess what? Vowing Saber says, fuck this, I'm gonna take a Nova Grappler and then say, screw everyone, including Extreme. Auto Van went not once per turn, for some reason, when it attacks, if you have one or more cards in your soul or on rear with Vowing in their card name, it can be himself, it can be the OG, your opponent doesn't have to be a grade 3 for this, and it can be on rear or soul, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your rear guards, stand it. Okay. Seems kind of a bit much to stand one rear guard. Oh wait, if you have damage on his 4 more cards, stand everything. Or sorry, stand all your rear guards. This is what Extreme should have been. That is what they should have given Extreme. Extreme can only stand stuff of same grade. This thing stands a fucking board. Not only that, you think that's powerful, you ride Descendant on top of this, and for some reason they guard Descendant because maybe they're at 5 damage, and because that's not once per turn, that is 14 attacks for the cost of 3 Counterblast, 1 discard, and 2 soul. That may sound like a lot. In my opinion, it's not, especially if they're like 4 damage and they don't sec a trigger. If they survive this turn, they're going to be severely crippled. All I'm going to say, because 14 attacks to face. 1 card. What they gone from like, 5 attacks regularly to freaking 14. They took a massive jump. I don't know what Bushy was thinking when they made this. I don't know what crack they were smoking, but I want some of it. 4 of in any Eradicator deck. Next up, we have our Angel Feather reveals. We have Beri beat Angel, grade 1 boost, 10k shield, 8k base, auto is Rotopon, counter boss 1, put the top card of your deck into damage zone, call unit from damage. Okay, way to get a free card and basically swap damages. You change rear guard. If there's a protect marker on this unit circle, it gets intercepted auto when it intercepts, gets plus 5k shield for the battle, and can intercept from back row. Okay, so it's kind of like better and worse Secto Angel, respectively. Like, it has a Vanguard skill, so, you can ride it over Secto Angel. But downside is, unlike Sector Angel where the Protect marker can be in the same column, it has to be specifically on Beri Beat, but Beri Beat can get more shield out of it. So, it's good. I think it's like, its defensive skill is definitely worse than Secto Angel, but it is a better card to ride than Secto Angel. So I really like the upgraded version of it. I think it's really good in an Angel deck. Then we have Ammunition Angel, which is a grade 2 with Intercept 5k shield, 9k base. Really love the rainbow color on her. Auto when it's placed on Van or a rear guard with a Protect marker on it. Doesn't have to be a Vanguard circle with a Protect marker on it, because obviously that's impossible. Choose an opponent's rear guard, put it to the damage zone, and if you do, your opponent heals a card from their damage zone. So basically it has Zion skill, except it doesn't die. And then continuous rear guard, if there's a Protect marker on this circle, it gets plus 10. So here's the weird thing about this. These two are kind of like knockoff versions of Amputation and what's it called, Secto, respectively, because Secto does a better defensive job than this. This one has a better skill because it actually can work on Van compared to Amputation, except Amputation gets a plus 15 guaranteed, so already it has more numbers than this thing, and the Protect marker also doesn't have to be on the circle, and also Amputation can nullify Sentinels, which is why Amputation is really good. In my opinion, I think they're all really good, and I run them all at 4 in my Kiriel deck, because why the fuck not? But, yeah, they're okay, like, they kind of feel like weak. They feel like Vanguard versions of Amputation and Secto, respectively, is what I'm getting at, but they're not as good on rear. Then we move on to our grade 3 reveal, which is Circular Saw Kiriel, who was just knockoff Malkuth, but in a good way. Is there a good way to be a knockoff? I don't know. Grade 3 Twin Jet Protect Gift, 12k base. Auto is placed on Van. There's a Protect Gift on your circles. Carbos won't get a Protect Gift. So essentially, while yes, you can pick Protect 1 with her, note that if you do, you are immediately making her vanilla, because all of her skills require you to have Protect markers. So essentially, if you play Kiriel in your deck, for whatever reason, you're probably picking Protect 2, especially if it's the main grade 3, because if you pick Protect 1, normally I wouldn't say this, but I would say you are a fucking idiot if it is your main grade 3 and you pick Protect 1, because that means she is a straight vanilla for the rest of the game. Because her first skill makes you a Protect marker if you have a circle with 1, so once you ride her, you get 2 at the same time. And it continues Van during your turn for each of your Protect markers on your circles. She gets plus 5, so at least a 22. And then Auto Van, when it attacks, Counter Boss 1, Soul Boss 1, call units from your damage zone up to the number of rear guards with Protect markers on them. The auto abilities are nullified, and then for each card called from your damage zone, you deal damage. So plus is, you essentially could possibly get Septuple Drive, whatever the 7th number is. I think it's Septuple Drive, maybe I'm wrong, but like, point is, you get 7 drive checks, possibly Twin Drive from her, and then if you manage to call like 5 units from the damage zone, so be it. You don't have to call them to rear guards with protect circles on them. That's just a way to get more drive checks. But like I said, if you don't pick protect 2, she is a straight up vanilla. So pick protect 2 to use her. Either way, she's really nice. She is a more aggressive version of Malkuth Meliki, I have found. I do still prefer Malkuth Meliki, but these do all definitely work as really good cards and probably really good backups for Malkuth. So I say 4 of in her own deck and maybe a 2 of in a Malkuth deck. Then we have our Gladioul Dragon cards. When I saw the word Gladioul, I immediately thought of Gladioul. It's the card that Tokuha used in the anime, and then I never saw again because I never liked her. Grade 1 boost, 10k shield, 8k base is the grade 1 called Bud of Longevity Gladioul Dragon. Auto was placed on Van, look at top 7, shield to 1 piece of Eternity Gladioul Dragon, which is the grade 2. Reveal it, put it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. And if you do not reveal a card, you call up to 1 plant token, which is a grade 0, 10k power, 10k shield, critical of 1, and has boosted intercept. So, that is a plus. You just get free plant tokens with 1 critical, and not to mention that they just have the 10k power and 10k base thing, and all for just not adding the grade 2. So if you already have the grade 2 in hand, just don't add a card and then get a free plant tokens. That's amazing. And if you don't have the grade 2, cool, it can fix G-assisting. And then auto, when it's placed on rear from hand with a power of 10k or greater plant token on it, you may draw a card, this you get +5 for the turn. Okay, so it's becoming a 13k base and a draw, so it's definitely stronger than the base power of the plant token, and that's really nice. Just gets benefits. You may be wondering why you would ever do that, because the plant tokens have more shield, or like they have the same shield, but the plant tokens would act as more shield because they can intercept. Well, we'll see why in a second. So 4 of Gladioul Dragon though in a Gladioul deck because it's actually really strong and it can plus off being called over plant tokens. Then we have Piece of Eternity Gladioul Dragon. We all know I'm biased towards this card. We see the moon. I also love the pinkness of this thing. I don't know why I've started liking pink and green lately for whatever reason, so I'm just going to say I love it and move on. So grade 2 intercept, 5k shield, 10k base. Auto was placed on Van, look at top 7 for up to 1 recursion of Perpetuity, Gladioul Dragon. Reveal it, put it to your hand, shuffle your deck, and if you do not reveal a card, you get another plant token of the same stats as this one. So the good thing about this is the ride line literally fixes themselves. It just gets you free stuff. So you could possibly either get your remaining card of the ride line so you don't have to G-assist for it, or you get a free token, which is amazing. And then auto is placed on the rear guard circle with a plant token that's 10k or greater power. This thing is +15, so just 25k base. Okay, really nice. Again, don't know why you would call over it, because that's just a waste of 5k shield effectively, or technically 10k shield, but like still all around Gladioul is really good because it's just getting you a free token now, and it's a plus off of calling it over plant token, so it actually has more numbers. So really good card, 4 of. Now you may be wondering why would you call over plant token, is because of this Recursion of Perpetuity Gladioul Dragon. Grade 3 200 force gift, 13k base. I don't know why, if it is just me, or does anyone else feel like this reminds them of the PG Planet Prevent Dragon from D. So anyways, continues Vanguard. Plant tokens you called are grade 0, 10k power, 10k shield, critical of 1s, have boost, intercept, and all of them can intercept from back row. So you know the ones Sephiroth calls that just have the same stats except they can't intercept from back row? So automatically this card's better than Sephiroth because it gives the same buffs except better. So automatically any deck that's running Sephiroth should just cut Sephiroth and run this instead. Auto Van, once per turn, put 1 normal meter from your drop zone to bottom, call 2 plant tokens. Cool, Sephiroth involves you sacking a rear guard that you might not have. This one just calls 2. Granted, Sephiroth could get +10 out of it, but Sephiroth also doesn't have a 3rd skill, so, prevents you from decking out, sends maybe important units back, such as one of the Gladiouls or itself, and then you call 2 plant tokens for free. So that's cool. And then Auto Van, when it attacks into anything, counterblast 1, draw a card, nice plus, and then choose the 2 cards from your hand, call into respective rear guard circles with plant tokens on them. So, what you're meant to do is swing with 2 columns of plant tokens, swing with this, counterblast 1, draw a card, call these 2, one of them gets +5, and you draw, one of them gets +15, and then you just get 5 attacks in a turn, which is good. You just get to force out hand cards to your opponent, and they slowly die because they know they can't stop you. And that's really nice that they get to call over plant tokens. Granted, they don't have to be the front row, so you can just call them to the same column, and they don't have to be different names, so you can just call to this thing if you really want to. All-around Recursion is amazing because it can get multi-attack with plant tokens. It can prevent you from decking out, and it just has a better stat buff all around with plant tokens, to the point where if you see this, you're probably only killing them if you start nuking their rear guard, so I hope you play Narukami or Kagero. So, 4 of Gladioul, and fuck Arboros. I say that, I run both of them in the same deck. Then we move on to School Punisher, Leopold Reverse. I find it funny how I think I don't know if it's a common joke on the channel because I forget if I ever say these talks or not, but I know me and my friend, we always fuck around and we'll make stupid jokes about what we think the cards are going to be, and like maybe what they might do. And I remember 2 days ago from when I'm recording this, me and my friend were joking around about how like what was the Great Nature going to be, and I was like, I bet it's going to be Leopold Reverse, and I bet it's skill, and I guessed one of it right. Actually no, I guessed part of it's skill right, which is funny. I did guess part of its skill right, and I just find it so hilarious, but whatever. Let's just move on to it. Grade 3 Twin Drive Excel gift, 12k base. Act Vanguard once per turn. Lock a Leopold Rearguard. That's the first time I'm seeing a very restrictive lock to a specific unit name. During this turn, all cards discarded from your deck is treated as normal units, trigger units, and order cards. Okay, so this thing immediately says screw Isabel, because while Isabel will I guess make it faster and more consistent, this one says as long as you have a Leopold Rearguard, it's just locked, and then every one of your abilities activate from milling. Cost no counterblast, cost no soul blast, that's already good. And then Act Vanguard once per turn, counterblast 1, discard the top card, activate all effects based on the card type. For the record, I did not think we would get an order-based skill, because I didn't know orders was used in Great Nature. Frankly, I don't really use orders in V decks just because, I mean, outside of MLB, just because, like, I kind of find them weird in V decks. Like, D decks, they feel so natural. In V, it feels like you have to cut certain cards down a lot just to run the orders. Maybe that's just me, but I feel so uncomfortable running them to the point where literally I only use it in MLB and that's it. So first up, we have our normal unit. If you see a normal unit, you look at top 5, you choose up to 2 unit cards, some of them come to rear guard and stuff your deck. So basically the same skill as the original Leopold, except 1, it's a counterblast, so it's not free, but 2, it's an act skill, so it's not useless the second you place it off of Van, which I think all of us hate about the OG Leopold. I think we all thought it was good, but the fact that it was an on-place was sucky, even if it was for free. So this one, while yes, it's a counterblast cost, you get to search one more card from the top 4 instead of top 4, top 5 now, and you can still call 2 units, which is amazing. If it's a trigger unit, this unit gains continuous Van. All your front row units get +5 for the turn and a crit. So, oh shit. Oh yeah, this unit gets a crit. Not everyone gets a crit. So that would be a lot more dangerous if it was everyone gets a crit, but that's still pretty good. So while the OG Leopold could hit 27 with double critical, this one can only hit 17 with double critical. 17 double crit, still pretty powerful, I gotta say. Like, my only thing is this. If they made that a rear guard skill, this thing would be so much more broken, because that means if you could just make a full front row of these things and they'd be dangerous. And if you saw an order card, you get an imaginary gift Excel. I don't think that's what this Great Nature deck needs specifically, and I say that because from what I've learned, lottery-based Great Nature does like a lot of number getting, especially because barcode Saber's a thing, to the point where, in my opinion, if you have ways to get gifts, cool for you, but especially if you're going for Excel 2, will deck you out quicker. So in my mind, you do not need orders for this to work, because from my experience of both playing it and facing it, getting Excel gifts is the least of your worries in Leopold. Though I'm not a competitive player, so I don't know how well my logic goes outside of casualness, but that's my opinion. Do as you wish. Run orders if you want to. I know I'm not going to, but I do like the first 2 skills just because they're really good. So, 4 of Leopold Reverse. It's an amazing grade 3, and I think we all know it's better than the OG. I also like its art. I just like the dark animal aspect of it.
So our next card is Evil Armor Emperor, Ura-Giraffa Reverse. Can't say I saw this coming, because 2 days ago when me and my friend were fucking around making Vanguard skills, we stumbled upon Mega Colony. We were like, what is the possibility of what it could possibly be? I said it was going to be Martial Arts Beetle Reverse, and my friend said Spark Hercules, because he likes machinings. We were both very wrong, and it ended up being this thing. So grade 3 Twin Jet Protect, you have 12k base. Gotta say, I really love the art, because something I really like just about, like, villainous cards in general is I really like the idea of white, because black just seems too plain to me, or like dark colors in general feel too plain, but like white, not super bright white, but like light white like this where it's kind of darkish, I don't know why I like it so much. Maybe it's like tainting the light inside of you, and then that turns evil, making it more of a villainous feel to it. I don't know, but it feels so cool, like staring this thing down. Like, not a fan of the background, but I love how he is designed, and that, like, I don't know why, but it makes the ring around him pump so much. I don't know, I love this card's art. So his skill, by the way, we just got this, so my commentary is going to be a little bit stale on this, but Auto Van, once per turn, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1, your opponent chooses 1 or more cards from the hand and calls it to rearguard as rest. Okay, so at the very least, they have to call 1, but they can choose to call more. Why, you may ask? The opponent's auto abilities don't activate from that call. Okay, expected. And then if the number of cards called is equal to or lower than the number of grade 3s in your soul with Giraffa and their card names, not different card names, because like max would only be 2 in V, and their card names, regardless of what their names are, lock a rear guard, stand him. So for a single cost of Counterblast 1, when he swings into any grade, doesn't matter if it's a grade 2, doesn't matter if it's a grade 3, as long as it's on the Vanguard, they have to at least call 1 to rear. So they're at least losing 1 card. Except say you, for example, you had 2 grade 3s in soul, and this is Meg Coney. We have a really decent way of like sucking stuff to soul. Not a lot of decent ways like Pale Moon does, but like we have a decent amount of ways to shove stuff to soul. So say for example you had 2 grade 3s in soul while your opponent is at grade 2. Well, either they call 3 cards, or they take this attack and then you lock a rear guard and you stand a unit, or you stand the Vanguard. So you're getting quad drive. That's not dangerous at all. Again, I really wish this part of the ability was a once per turn. This part of the ability wasn't a once per turn, but hey, it's still a fair skill because that wipes out so much hand so quickly. It's really good. I also just realized like this thing has fucking like Scythe Storm. That's fucking cool. And then Auto Van, during your turn, when your opponent's rear guard is placed by any means, whether it's by its ability or something else, lock a rear guard, all your front row gets plus 15 for the turn. Not once per turn. So say, fuck your back row, this thing stands and your front row will probably get plus 30 if you have 1 grade 3 in soul. I have a theory about like Vanguard as a whole, and I feel like that theory is wrong. I hope that theory is wrong, because I'm seeing a trend with a lot of cards, and Buddy Fight followed the very same trend before it, or like a very similar trend before it ended. I'm not saying Vanguard's close to ending, I'm just saying that everyone's getting a restanding skill. I'm wondering why. It's just me questioning logic. I'm not so sure if I'm onto something or if I'm just being paranoid, but like, just saying. Anyways, like, that's amazing for a fucking Protect deck. What, 42k to front? This thing's a 42 if they call 2 units. And fuck your back row. At this point, your back row might as well just be fodder. Amazing card. Really good in a Giraffa deck. Don't know what to say from here.
Real quickly, I just want to say sorry guys for making this so late. I know it's late, I just woke up late, so everyone moved down the list. So anyways, first up we have Spectral Duke Dragon Reverse. As our final gold paladin revealed, I am so upset to see Spectral Duke Dragon Reverse here because while I don't mind it being Spectral Dragon Reverse, I really wanted another Liberator, is specifically Garmor Wolfang Liberator, so I'm really upset that Spectral Duke is what we got, but let's see what its skill does. Grade 3 200 Ezel gift, 12k base. Each Vanguard during your turn, if your soul has Spectral Duke Dragon in its card name, this unit gets plus 10k, and if your opponent's Vanguard to grade 3 or greater, he gets plus 1 critical. So if you have the OG Spectral Duke, he's a 22k base with double critical during your turn, but he doesn't have the same base power that Spectral Duke would have during both players' turns, so while it does have more aggressive power on your turn, it is kind of not as good because Spectral Duke gives you more defensive during your opponent's turn, but its second skill is Auto Van. At the end of battle, your Vanguard attack, counterblast 1, lock 3 rear guards, stand this unit, and at the end, and this unit gets -1 drive for the turn. Okay, he has a standing skill, and it's not a once per turn, so if you can keep blocking rear guards and keep counterblasting, you can keep standing him. And then Auto Hand, at the end of the battle your Vanguard attacked, if you have 5 or more damage zone cards, counterblast 2, lock 3, ride him as stand, and this unit cannot activate auto abilities for the rest of the turn. So technically speaking, through bullshit loops, you can get 3 Vanguard attacks by going Vanguard with the original Spectral Duke, use his skill, sack rear guard, stand him, swing with him, then use this thing's skill to counterblast 2, lock 3 rear guards, ride him. Okay, you can get multi-attack, pretty nice. Feel like he got the weird shutdown of not being able to use auto abilities because Rebirth can swing, actually no, Rebirth can only swing 3 times, but still those 3 times are powerful 3 times. So Reverse is still pretty good. I don't think it's amazing because in my opinion I do think Spectral Duke was just better with that 13k base during both players' turns, but it's just my opinion. But he does have more aggressive to him, and the being able to restand multiple times as long as you can lock 3 rear guard and counterblast 1 is pretty good. That just involves you having so much counterblast that you saved us through the entirety of the game. I think he's really good though, and I give him a 4 in a Spectral Duke deck. Then we have our Ancient Dragon card, which I am severely disappointed in. First up we have Ancient Dragon, Babyrex, grade 1 boost, 10k shield, 8k base. Auto when this unit with an equipped gauge on is retired from rear by the card ability of your Ancient Dragon card, Soul Blast 1, bind this card, subject to 1 grade 3 call to rear guard and shuffle your deck. Okay, I think we all know who that's supposed to call, but that's really nice that he doesn't specifically force you to call Ancient Dragon Tyrannolegend, which we did get, by the way. He just gives you the choice to call grade 3, so you don't have to call. You can just soul boss 1 to buy him, just soul boss 1 to buy him, but you can choose any grade 3 you want, which is really nice, because any grade 3 can get benefits from this. And then auto rear, the ability that I hate, once per turn when your jet reveals a trigger unit, put the top card of your deck face down as an equip gauge for this unit. I said it before, I'll say it again, I hate the fact that they incorporated equip gauges into Ancient Dragon playstyle. They made it boring in my opinion, but it's fine, because Babyrex Babyrex is cute, and I'll give him the pass on just because it is genuinely a good skill, and I like it over Iguana Gorg, so 4 of Babyrex. Then we have Ancient Dragon Tyrannolegend, grade 3 Twin Drive XL gift, 12k base. Really like just the giant fucking menacing T-Rex gloriously standing in battle as a volcano erupts from behind him. That looks really cool. Grade 3 Twin Drive XL gift, 12k base. Auto when he's placed on Van or by placed by the ability of your Ancient Dragon on rear guard. This thing. This unit gets plus 10k to drive. Then discard a card from your hand, choose a front trigger from your drop put at top. So the whole point of Ancient Dragons, if you don't know, regardless of what deck you're using, is that you want to sack triggers, specifically fronts for most of them. And this thing gives you a free front just by being placed on either Van or on rear by your Vanguard's ability, by your rear guard's ability, and he'll be at 22 with triple drive, which granted the triple drive only matter on Van, and you can sack a front to top, all for only the cost of a discard, and you do this all for free. Cool. And then auto Van or rear, at the end of the battle he attacked, counterboss 1, retire one of your rear guards, draw a card. I expected a restand skill. To be fair with you, by the way, I haven't read any of these 4 skills that I just read because I genuinely had to rush to this, but okay, that's fine. Getting a counterblast to draw a card is by retiring one of your rear guards, it's fine. Like, it allows for multi-attack loops with this thing, but not really sure how to feel about that. I wish it was on attack, because if it was on attack, then you can combo it by killing this, get another copy of this, sack a front to top before you do your drive check, and then boom, you got bullshit drives, but yeah, it's fine. And then the auto rear once per turn when your drive check reveals a trigger unit, get a gauge for this unit. Again, don't know why they bothered incorporating gauges into Ancient Dragons when they barely use them, but whatever. Apparently Bushy felt like that was a necessary factor to have with them. Either way, I really like Tyrannolegend. That basically free skill makes him really good in my opinion, and I really think his art is really cool, and if I wasn't so stressed for time for this, I would go into more detail of why I like him. Either way, he's an amazing grade 3, and if it wasn't for that gauge thing, I'd say he belongs in a 4 of an Ancient Dragon deck, but I'm gonna say 3 of. Then we have the card I have not read, but I could tell by skimming it, it doesn't have an equip gauge based skill, I hope, and maybe I just read it wrong, but the one I've been waiting for the most because I am a sucker for this thing, Eradication Ancient Dragon Spinodriver Reverse. Grade 3 Twin Drive SL gift, 12k base. Weirdly enough, I think I'm one of the few people that actually like Spinodriver back in the OG, because I hated Tyrannolegend, or like, not hated, but I definitely liked this thing more than I liked, or not this thing specifically, but Spinodriver over Tyrannolegend. So now that we got a reverse for it, I'm really happy. So auto one is placed on Van, perform, draw a card, choose a card from your hand, call it to rear guard circle. God damn it, you may gauge that card. So you don't have to gauge it, but you can choose to, and you do it 1 time. And if you have Ancient Dragon Spinodriver in your soul, you perform it 3 times instead. So essentially, it's a mandatory draw and call, but you don't have to gauge. So draw, call, draw, call, draw, call. So it just gets you 3 free rear guards. Damn, that's pretty good. Just 3 free fucking rear guards. And for no cost, by the way. And then act Vanguard once per turn. If your damage zone has 4 or more cards in it, counterblast 1, lock 2 rear guards with equip gauges on them. God damn it, reverse. God damn it, you were so close. So close. Lock 2 rear guards with equip gauges on them until end of turn. This unit gets continuous Vanguard. If your drive trigger avoid a front trigger, all your frontward units with Ancient Dragon in their card and get +1 crit. Yeah, no. Just no. Here's my reasoning for it. Every single Ancient Dragon that was released before Spinodriver OG got released involved when you sack a front trigger, they get a crit. I think Bushy realized this and then was like, oh fuck, we've been wasting our time giving them all once per turn equip gauge based skills when we should have been giving them the whole basis skill to begin with. So now they just chose, oh, we're gonna fix it by giving you 1 card that can do it. No. Like, yeah, it hits a broader range, so if you use the newer ones, it does still plus them, but goddamn reverse. You are. This first skill, because it's a May, is so good. Like, I mean, it's good regardless because it's a May. It's just the fact that, like, the May makes me want to use it more because I hated the concept of equipped cages being introduced into Ancient Dragons. Not saying I hate equipped cages, I just hate that they were introduced into Ancient Dragons. In this second skill, why restrict it to equipped cages? Why? And then it wasn't even a good plus. It just gives them Ancient Dragon skill that all the ones before had. I'm questioning if I want to run this right now, because as much as I like him, I don't think I want to, just because I really hate that skill. I'm not even going to say what number you should put him in, because I'm not even sure I'm going to run him myself outside of spite. Well, I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, follow Twitch, and I'll see you all in the next one. And don't forget, apparently Bushy likes making questionable decisions with cards that people are hyped for. So I'll see you all in this one. Don't forget to stand up your vanguards.